The challenges facing our teens today mean that more than ever, we need to be there to support them and encourage them. The DrStem Show is here to provide discussions about topics that will help promote healthy relationships, self-image, and success for teens, parents, and the community. Our young people can achieve more in life than they ever dreamed possible. The DrStem Show, hosted by Dr. Stem Malatini, will foster these discussions and encourage your participation.
Everyone will agree with me that today's youth need direction and guidance, especially with the recent Baltimore riots that are coming up on TV, as we have seen. Today, I'm excited to have a young gentleman with me on the set who is not only taking the lead to guide fellow young men and young women in the community, but he's also started a program titled Lead the Baseline that he'll be talking to us about what his intentions are and what he has done so far. Welcome to the show, Aaron Wilson.
Thank you, Dr. Stem. Thank you for having me.
Wow. You know what? Before the show, I know I was telling you God works in mysterious ways. And it's so true because we've been trying to get together for the longest time. And now these riots start happening. And I'm going, who is the best person to bring on the show to help us understand what these young, people, the teenagers and the young people that are going through in Baltimore could be? And here comes Aaron. So get ready, because we're going to be talking about that.
Let's get it.
All right. So before we start, tell us a little bit about you. Who are you?
Definitely. So I'm from Brockton, Massachusetts, City of Champions. And I was born in Boston, but grew up in Brockton my whole entire life. I have an amazing family, an amazing father, Willie Wilson Jr., who is an African-American history teacher, retired now, but amazing teacher, amazing mother, Valerie Wilson, and she's a biblical counselor and counsels people and also used to substitute teach in the school system. I have an amazing family, 2 brothers, 2 sisters, and I grew up in an amazing home. I'm very blessed. Amazing church family, amazing community, and I'm just so excited to be blessed to be able to do what I love to do and find that path.
Wow. Your brothers and sisters, 2 brothers and 1
2
sister?
brothers and 2 sisters,
What are
2
their names?
fraternal twin sisters, Jared Wilson, Andrew Wilson, Shoshana Wilson, and Christina Wilson.
Okay, because I know they would want to hear their names
Yeah,
too
they're like,
when
wait,
you're doing
can I get
it.
a shout out? It's a lot of names. I'm trying to.
I know. So, lead the baseline. When I hear that, I'm thinking, okay, here's the music, the baseline guitar. Yeah. Tell us about that program.
So Lead the Baseline, my business, is a program where we go into organizations, businesses, corporations, and really help people establish themselves as leaders. We bring in different programming, different workshop, but really attack it in a new way. And it's exciting, it's great. One of my latest modules was actually confidence. And a baseline of it is, we talk about it, but do we really truly understand what it is? Yeah. And if we do, are we really using it in our everyday lives? Are we going after our dream? Are we going after our passions?
Okay. Now, is this for the teenagers, for young people, or you're going for business people that are professionals already with this program?
So with this program, we are going for high school students, aspiring entrepreneurs, and then business owners. So a lot of the times I'm in the community really helping the high school, giving back community services, but also this is for corporations and businesses because it's really looking at these topics in a different way that can help your business.
Oh, that is awesome. Because then, you know what, it goes in collaboration because as we were talking before, I told you about unstoppable confidence, which is what I'm also instilling in the schools, for the students out there. So that's really needed. Let's talk about confidence and being able to advocate or voice the needs as we are seeing with this incident in Baltimore right now. How important is that? And what can you say to the young people out there that want to have their voice heard?
One of the things that I can say is just know that there's people on your side, whether they're around you, whether if they're not in your family, if they're not in your community, there are people out there praying for you. There are people wanting your success. There's outlets for you to still have a dream, no matter where you've been around. I know sometimes we feel that we don't have the support system or we don't have someone rooting for us. But remember, root for yourself because people are going to be there for you. God placed you on this earth for a reason, for a purpose, and you will live up to that.
So your childhood, I'm calling you young gentleman, young person, and I mean, for ladies, it's a compliment to be told, oh, you look like you're 18. I don't know how it is for, males, whether it's young. Tell me, let's go back to talk about your childhood, because then yours is not the norm of having two parents that are working, that are professionals as role models in your family. Probably, are you the first one or are you the
Second?
You're the second one.
Yep.
Probably an older brother or sister that is also doing well in his or her life. It's different from, your friends and everyone that you were in school with. Tell us a little bit about your experience in high school, especially, or in middle school, and the other kids that you saw. How different were they? What are some of the problems that you think they are going through that is different than what you went through?
Yeah, definitely. I was always blessed. I remember growing up in elementary school, and a lot of my friends would have just one parent in their home, and I was just like, what? I just didn't understand it, and then some would divorce, and I was right there witnessing it, and I don't know, deep down inside I knew, and I even told my friend, I knew that my parents would never get a divorce. I just seen them at home, and I seen the love they had for each other, and I just knew it was so strong. They both put God first, and I just knew they were so strong, so I looked up to that. And growing up in school, even though I had all this greatness, and this is what I really want people to understand, and I had the support around me and the family and whatnot, I still lacked confidence. I still lacked self-esteem with all this great stuff. That's why my heart goes out to people in communities that don't have that support system, because I only can imagine how hard it is for you. But if I can do it, you can do it.
Yes. So to me, confidence and self-esteem, because I'm a therapist as well. I'm a life coach, I'm a career coach, you name it. So to me, confidence means being assertive, being like Aaron Wilson, who is able to stand up as a young man and, voice his concerns, his dreams, his needs, and, speaking up. Do you think that self-esteem can be learned? And if it can, is it something that can be taught in the classrooms or at home? How can, the young people that are out there listening in, where can they learn it? How?
Easy. By honestly looking within. When you take off the mask, the personalities, the things you are not, you will realize that confidence is on the inner side of you. Remember what I said. God made you with a purpose. He made you with gifts. He made you with passions. All that is inside of you. But when you begin to take off the mask, or what people called you, what society said of you, you will start to awaken your true essence, your true beauty.
Yeah. So were there any counselors in the schools where you can say, did you access those? Because I've noticed that most of the kids that in the schools, they don't access and utilize the counselors in the schools at all. Were you able to?
No, I did. It's funny. I wasn't able to, because at that age, it was just like I was going through the process. As I got older, I realized, wow, this is something that I have to work on, or this is something I didn't even know it was a confidence issue until a couple of years ago. It was just I was going through the motions, So I feel there has to be a level of awareness. We have to sit with ourselves and be like, what is going on? What could I do? Really start analyzing that.
Yeah. And when did you gain yours? How old were you when you started
realizing it? Probably within the last couple of years. I always had these dreams and passions and inspirations, but I never went after it. But in the last couple of years, I said, I made a decision to go like a lightning bolt, focus on my dreams and my passion.
Okay. And you know what? I met you at Toastmasters.
Darren LaCroix, yeah.
Darren LaCroix.
Speaking,
and I remember looking around and seeing two young men, because Kurt Faustine was there as well. And I looked around and thought, there are two young black men in this arena. Because we were only probably four minorities.
Four or five deep.
I know, right? So it was easy to just notice that.
Exactly.
So, tell us about some of the steps of the things that you have done to gain your confidence or to work on your self-esteem.
Definitely. Yeah. One of the main things I could say is I stepped out of my comfort zone. A lot of times I know people say, have faith, but faith is walking on water. Yeah. and trusting in God. And that's what I done. I stepped out of my comfort zone. I talked to people, whether I was going to look crazy or not. And that's what you do. You start somewhere. Don't feel that you have to have everything perfect, because it'll never be. Just step out, connect with people. That's a huge thing. People that know me know that even if I'm afraid or even if I'm nervous or don't feel I can do it, I always reach out to people, and I just always want to gain knowledge and really just express myself and lend yourself, serve other people. That's why we're here. We're here to serve other people. Yeah. And by doing that, like in return, you are abundantly, literally will get it back, like paying it forward.
You're right. You're right. You know what? We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back talking to Aaron Wilson. We were talking about confidence the first half of the segment, and you know what, that's my passion, because that's one thing that I've also been trying to instill in the teenagers out there, the young adolescents, the parents, the teachers as well. You won't even believe it, how many people are struggling with being assertive, being able to sit and talk about their passions and their dreams. So it's exciting to talk to Aaron today about your dreams and your aspirations. Oh, one quick thing. Do you have a vision board?
Yes.
Oh, you do?
I do.
What is a vision board? Can you tell the kids what that is?
Yes, I will. I love it. It's so exciting. A vision board is actually creating images, whether you draw them, whether you cut them out of a magazine, look them up on Google like me, and print them out at Walmart, and you put it on a whiteboard or a blackboard, anything you want, and literally every day you can go by and look at it and just really sit for a moment in envisioning those things happen. So on my vision board, I have Costa Rica, because I always wanted to visit it. I also have my business. I have a picture of a man praying on a mountain, always symbolizing me keeping my faith and putting God first. I have a vision of a hand going out and throwing money out to people, because I want to give back to organizations. I have my future family up there, my future wife, kids, my future kids. That's what a vision board is. It's really visioning that, putting it there, and really focusing on that and imagining that.
So I know all my young females out there that are watching are going, oh my God, he put his future wife on the board. What does she look like? I wonder.
What does she look like?
Yep.
Well,
what are the qualities you're looking for?
Well, I just went to Google and I just found a family, one daughter, one son. So I imagine a nice young black woman or some different person of color, nice eyes, like hazel, green, long hair, flowy hair, media. And no offense to that. But now growing older and I'm really open, because it's really about the inner soul. Yes, I want someone beautiful, but my mindset of beautiful is developing. It's expanding. You know what I mean? So honestly, it's really going to be a genuine heart. Like whoever she's going to be is going to blend with Lead the Baseline in my vision, and together we're just going to make this global and huge, and we're going to change the world.
So what that means for all my young ladies out there is you will not get just a good looking man. You're going to have the brains as well. You heard him. It's going to match with my vision and what I want and the dreams. So it's not about the outside. Even for you, you can't be just pretty. That's what I'm trying to say to people, okay? All right, let's go to your dream of starting a business, because now you have a business. You're a business person. How did that start, and what did you have to do to start Lead the Base?
Well, with Lead the Baseline, I've been speaking the last couple of years at organizations, nonprofits, doing workshops. And recently, in the last year, I actually sat down and I really was like, this needs to be a business. This is a mogul. This is going to be huge. So I was sitting down one day and in my mentor's office, and my mentor was just like, Aaron, come up with the name for your business. I was like, just like that? I was like, I need a couple of weeks. He's like, Aaron, it's already inside of you. So I literally, honestly, took the next couple of 10 minutes and I sat down, and since I have a strong musical background, and it came to me, it was like in leadership, it was lead the baseline. I heard like a baseline of a song is the rhythm, is the body, is the starter.
Yes.
And then the baseline of your life, that's the solid foundation that you start with. Everyone has a baseline. A house has a baseline, has a foundation, and it was perfect. At that moment, I knew it was it.
Your mentor.
My mentor.
Is that an outside person? Who is this mentor?
My mentor is Alan Dagba, and he's the owner of One Happy Life.
Okay. Is he a coach?
He's a coach, spiritual coach, minister, author, amazing person. And I was even blessed. And speaking of connecting with people, I met him at an event that I went to. I read it, I seen it online, I called them in. I'm like, can I come in? Met them, and from there, it was amazing. It was a divine connection.
Okay. So, and I ask because then a lot of people will be like, mentor, and how important is that to have a mentor?
It's so important. If you look at anybody, Michael Jordan, everybody has a mentor. Whether you're a singer, whether you're a cook, an artist, an actor, everyone has a coach. And one thing I want to say is, it's not like I got a coach overnight, or several coaches for that instance, because I have other ones too. Yeah. It all comes though. Yeah. Like you were talking about, the vision board, speaking it into existence, having faith, they come along the way. Yeah. Just take that step, and everything will come, everything will work out for your good.
Where do you see the Lead the Baseline going, the organization?
The organization, so right now we're in Massachusetts doing workshops. Eventually we're going to be doing it throughout the states and then internationally. Really going into schools, like I said, corporations, really sitting down with people, doing these workshops, having products, having audio books as well, and then eventually tying my music into it as well too. So yeah. I'm excited.
Oh yeah, you do sing. What kind of music do you sing?
I sing inspirational music, so empowering music. So in creative, I grew up with a heavy influence. My dad, Ella Fitzgerald, Ronnie Dyson, listening to all these different influences. When I created my music, it's so different, but it's so empowering, and I'm so passionate about it.
So do you have a band that you play
with? I work with
you?
different people, but right now it's just me. But I have a coach I'm working with called Robert Stevenson, and just amazing people that came on board to really help me with these projects, and I'm so excited.
Aaron, it's been interesting talking to you. What I want to do is when we come back from break, let's talk about, the way you dress, your persona outside and that appearance. How important is it for young people to be able to address, themselves differently, the way they look on the outside? How important is that, when you're going out as a business person? We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. We are talking today about confidence. How important is your appearance when you are trying to establish yourself as a young person, whether a teenager or a young lady or young man out there in the society? So before we went on break, I asked Aaron to think a little bit about it and talk to us about how important is appearance.
Appearance is very important because you want to put your best foot forward. You want to get up and dress to the best of your ability and be yourself. When you dress great, when you take care of yourself, take care of your body, your image, you feel great about yourself. And remember, do it for you.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm not trying to say everyone should wear a suit and tie, because everyone should be an individual and be who they are. But there's a certain appearance where, people can see that you care for yourself. And that's the appearance that I'm trying to say to people, to say, you know what, wear your hat the way you want to do it. But there's a certain way that society expects you to dress when you're going for a job interview, or when you are, in a crowd where you're trying to voice your opinions, and your hat is on the side, and your pants are down and everything is showing. There's a certain way that they receive your message. Most of the time they're just looking at you and not even listening to what you're saying. So I think that's one of the things that I was trying to express out there. The other thing that I wanted to maybe expand on is your music background. So I know one of the things that my producer wanted to do was to have you sing us a song, even if it's just the intro, just so we can get an idea of what your songs sound like.
Definitely. Okay. So my first single was Save My Life. That's out now. You can look it up online. It's a really good, inspirational, empowering track. Okay. And my second single is called I Hear the Future. And I'm so excited about this one because, speaking of confidence, going after your business, going after your dream, it's really a song about really breaking past any fear or any anxiety or any doubt and really going after your dreams. So it's really exciting. So it's going to be released soon. So we're working on it.
So which one are you going to sing for us?
I'll do I Hear the Future. I'll give you a
I
little
Hear
taste
the
of
Future.
it.
Okay, all right. We're going to hear I Hear the Future.
There's a new side to me, tuned to your stereo. Go peep it from a birdie. I think I just seen a sparrow. I hear the future calling me, so I'm drawing near it. It's like gravity moving through my spirit. Oh, yeah.
I have to say, you have a great voice.
Thank you.
So there's no CD, you said?
No, so the song's actually in production right now, so we're just wrapping it up in the studio, and then we should be shooting the video soon. So.
Beautiful voice, beautiful
you so
voice.
much.
So what I'm going to do is probably get, that line that you said, so that when you're singing, when you were editing, we're just going to put it on the screen.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Nice,
if you
nice.
don't
That's
mind,
awesome.
we'll do it that way. So how will people be able to buy that CD when it's out?
So they'll be able to purchase it on iTunes,
Okay.
and we'll be distributing it. Yeah, so definitely keep posted on my social media links. I'll definitely be blasting it so they can pick it up.
Okay, let's tell people what those social links, how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, definitely. So at Lead the Baseline, so my Twitter is Lead the Baseline, very simple. Email Aaron at Lead the Baseline, and then my Facebook right now, you can just type in Aaron Kendall Wilson. I should definitely come up, and right there, those will be blasted. So if you want to get my music or hear about a workshop, definitely contact me there.
The title of those workshops again, which
So
ones are
right
you
now
doing?
we have 3 of them. So it's
Okay.
called it's Awaken the Leader in You, and with that workshop comes leadership and personal development, confidence and self-respect, and then one called critical self-analysis, which is a huge one.
Ah, that's when you get to really look at yourself.
Really
and
look at
within.
yourself. Yes.
Okay. I know we started the show talking about guidance, that our teenagers need guidance. What does guidance mean to you?
Guidance means to me is really just having someone to look up to or ask questions about, to double checking, is this right, or should I go this way, or what do you think about that? Really just having a mentor, having a support system. We don't have that. I don't feel like a lot of the youth have that sometimes, have that go-to person, and it's important. If they don't have a parent at home or someone to look up to, where are they going to get it from?
Yeah. So I think we need to call out on all the adults out
Yes,
there as well.
call to action.
To reach out to a young person, that if each one of us have at least 1 or 2 young people that we can mentor, then you know what, they can have the guidance that they need. Because we're looking up to the parents who are so busy, as we said, some are single and they don't have the time. And they might not be looking out like that mother did, the one that was beating up her son on TV, poor thing. I mean, she just was outraged. Do you understand why she would be that outraged? Did you understand why?
Yeah, I seen it, the video. Yeah, I seen it.
Yeah, so she must be hardworking and couldn't believe
it.
Yeah, that one of her sons would be out there. What do parents need to know, though? I mean, that might help them to be able to guide their teenagers well. Anything that you might...
I feel that it's open communication.
Yeah.
I understand busyness, and I get that, but at the end of the day, it's another human being. They have to understand each other. They have to have those conversations. They have to reach a point where they're comfortable with each other, with sharing certain things. It really comes to a level of understanding.
I know one thing that you had said when we first started preparing for this show was, the parents themselves need to heal the teens in themselves, which I think is big, and I know I advocate for that a lot. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, definitely. So even with, growing older and, acquiring responsibility, there's sometimes you have to still look at yourself, even if you are a parent, and look at where were you hurt in the past, and did you recover from that? Did you forgive that person? Did you heal from that past wound? That's why critical self-analysis is so important, because if you don't do it, it's there's no age where it just stops. It's something that you do as a life process, and it's continual.
Yeah.
You know, it's really continual.
In our word in psychology, we have this term called countertransference. And what happens is when you have something that you haven't healed within, and you meet somebody else, or even your child does something that triggers that pain that is within you, you start.
It brings it out, and it shows you what you need to work on.
Your reaction is just like out of this world. And most of the teenagers go, why is that teacher screaming like that? I mean, I didn't do anything to, for them to be that angry. And all of a sudden, when you take a step back, you realize that maybe it was a little bit too much. And that's when we say, I think, you know what, check yourself.
Before you wreck yourself.
What is it within you that you're reacting to rather than this kid walking into your classroom? Is it that, serious? So the same thing with the parents. Are you really punishing this kid or being angry at your child because of what they're doing or because of what their father didn't do or is not doing, or what their mother is not doing or didn't do?
And I always say I use that as a perfect time to look at, because it will bring it out. I love the thing of, if you ever, get in an argument with someone and they're like, you're making me angry, or you made me do that. They actually didn't. They just showed you what you had in yourself, anger that you have to work on. So when these traits come up, don't be discouraged, but use that as a teachable moment to work on yourself.
Yeah. So the workshops will cover all this information and more, because then these are the discussions that go on in the workshops where you get to look at yourself, you get to look at the communication, skills, or that you're implying in your relationship at home or at school or at work, as you said. And again, you said people can book you through, is there a phone number and email that you can give out?
Yes, definitely. So email is aaron@leadthebaseline.com. And then you also can look me up on Twitter, leadthebaseline.com, and then my website, leadthebaseline.com.
leadthebaseline.com.
Yep.
It's been a pleasure having you on the show. And I know we're going to be talking some more.
Yes, definitely.
And hopefully we can continue to hear where Lead the Baseline is going, some of the projects that you have done. I would love to see some people and talk to some people that have attended the workshop and come and tell us,
awesome.
their testimonies on that.
Great.
So thank you so much again
Thank
for
you
coming
for having
today. And thank you for watching the DrStem Show.
Thank you for listening to the Dr. STEM Show. Have a terrific week.